Welcome back, nerds. We're your hosts this week. I'm Jake.
I'm Chad. This week we are sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week we are also sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
This week we are going to be diving into James Gunn's version of Suicide Squad. It's pretty badass. It's available on HBO Max and in theaters.
We will also be continuing our look back into the Spider-Man films. This week we'll be talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which, I mean, probably the best one.
Arguably the best one, yeah.
I guess you can make arguments for the other ones, but yes, it is, in my opinion, the best one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's not waste time. Let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast. Nerd.
Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad,
What?
how's your week been?
Well, I mean, it was pretty non-eventful except for, oh wait, I did this thing called I bought tickets to come back to Minnesota.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you do something like that?
Because you're getting very middle-aged. No, I'm. They don't, but I'm coming back for your birthday later in this month so that we can hang out. I may have done that intentionally so that now you don't have an excuse to not come back out to Ohio. I have found better restaurants since you were last out here.
I've already told you that I'd be willing to come back out to Ohio one more time before you move back to Minnesota.
No, I know.
Super excited that you're coming back to Minnesota, even if it's only for
A
2
weekend.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely a weekend. But
It's kind of like how you were barely here for a weekend.
yeah.
Like a day,
It'll be fun.
a full day and like a half.
Yeah. It'd be a good time.
It'll
I'm
be
excited
great.
about it.
But what else has happened in your week?
I don't remember what I wrote down here. But yeah.
It sounds like you're being a real adult, is what I'm hearing.
I met with a realtor slash friend today because I am looking to buy a house, my first home.
A hoose.
A house. I'm looking to buy my first house ever, and I'm really excited about it. So I met with the realtor today to walk me through like what I need and like what I need to do to be prepared for buying a house. So, and then we had a couple beers, and while I was at the brewery,
This is the real important thing.
the weirdest thing, because I love animals. It's like probably my biggest like character thing. It's probably the best part of my personality is how much I love animals. And
I'll
so
second that.
Huh?
What? Nothing. Keep going.
You'll second that?
Yeah.
I'm saying that about myself. I love
know.
animals, and that's probably the best thing about me. I will go like out of my way to like help animals if I can, and even the ones that are not so nice to me back. You know what I mean?
Oh, like a Canada goose?
Like I help snapping turtles cross the road, even though they try to like eat me the entire time.
Yeah, that's not great.
But anyways, I'm at this brewery, meet with the realtor, and there's this metal like bin, and there's a bunch of baby ducks in it, and you can like hold them and take pictures with them. It was fucking adorable. I'll send you a picture, put it on the website. It was cute.
Yeah, we'll throw it up on Instagram. Why not?
Yeah, it was fun. So that's really what's going on with me. Not other than that, not a whole heck of a lot.
Well, a cool thing is, so by the time you guys are hearing this, we have shipped out our goodies from our last couple of giveaways.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting. Oh my God, super exciting. So super stoked about that. So you guys will be getting some, those of you who have won those giveaways will be getting some fresh new merch. Also, if you guys want to know how to get some free merch without having to, I don't know, pay us, which is kind of a bummer on your part, but I get it. If you can get it for free, why pay for it? You just have to tune into our live streams, which we'll be announcing next week for this month. But yeah, let's not waste any time. I mean, we really enjoyed both of the films that we're going to be talking about, so let's just get right back into it. But before we do that, let's talk about Ray's Energy Drinks, which is by Rep Sports. And on top of their energy drinks, which are so good, there's 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash, the whole nines. But they also just launched some protein-packed desserts with... It's just straight ejaculate. It's not Ray's. We're not talking shit. We actually love your product. But they have some protein-packed desserts that you can get, and they just launched, and they're super awesome. So if you listen up, you'll get a promo code to where you can save 15%. So go ahead and do that now. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Ray's Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Ray's Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. All right, guys. So, this week we're going to be diving into the new The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn, which is available in theaters now as well as on HBO Max. But before we do that, we do have to issue a spoiler alert. Massive spoiler warning.
Yeah, because we're going to just talk about this whole movie real quick. So
Yeah. So if you haven't watched it, pause, go watch it, come back. And if you disagree with us, I guess you can email us if you want, or just keep your mouth shut, whatever works.
And on top of that, it's really good.
Oh, it's phenomenal. There's a couple of things that we will shit on because, that's what we do.
That's what we do. I watch movies with my girlfriend and she's like, all right, spill it. And I'm like, spill what? And she's like, I know you hated something about this. Tell me what it is. And I'm like, oh. All right, here we go. But no, this movie's really, really good. So with that spoiler alert and go watch warning, go watch it. It's actually really fucking good.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. If it's vulgar and violent, first off.
Bloody, gory.
But fucking A, man. James Gunn just knows how to do these movies right.
Yeah.
He's a great director to begin with, but he knows how to do superhero movies right. He did Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, so he knows how to do it PG-13. This is rated R, and he knows how to do this fantastically as well.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, you've had enough time to shut this off at this point. Yeah. We're going to get into it. So,
First and foremost, it starts with... They kind of do the Kill Bill thing, where it's like jumping from time to time, changing like narratives a couple of times throughout the film.
They really build up, but they really build up their Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And it's a group, it's Rick Flag, Harley Quinn, those are your main characters. And they introduce all of these new Suicide Squad characters. You get Michael Rooker, you get Nate Fillion.
Savant as
TDK,
which
the detachable kid.
Which is a play on the DC Comics character of Arms Fall Off Boy.
Yeah.
Where basically his arms just like detach from his body and then he uses those to fight remotely.
Yeah.
He's a fucking loser.
Weasel, we get the Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad since the previous Suicide Squad,
which was a letdown
horribly.
Oh my god.
But yeah, and they basically, I mean, they suck. They basically, well, for me, the best thing about this, one of the main Suicide Squad characters is Pete Davidson, and I fucking hate Pete Davidson, and he dies. He's right away. I mean, within like 5 minutes of the movie, he's dead, and it makes me very happy.
He's the first one to legitimately die.
Yeah.
Because he tried to betray the Suicide Squad, and then he gets just fucking...
He gets his face blown off, like, gruesomely.
He gets
like, very...
If...
Like, yeah.
If you took a red shirt and used actual bullets instead of, phasers sets a stun, he gets that to the face. And it's quite great.
Yeah.
First off, I don't personally hate Pete Davidson. He's done a couple of like indie films that I've really enjoyed, but like, eat shit. It's fine. We disagree on this.
I get it. He's done some stuff that's not horrible, but like that doesn't make you like a good.
Right. I'll give you that. But yeah, he just gets absolutely just tabled in the first 5 minutes, just shot in the face. And then there's a callback to him later. We'll get into it, but basically it's like a beach breaching scene that starts the film, and you have all these characters and they all die.
Except for
Rick Flag and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And Rick Flag.
Yeah, Rick Flag and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. And they get
everybody else brutally gets murdered.
Like,
yeah. Captain Boomerang, gone. Jai Courtney.
Yeah, Jai Courtney.
His name. Yeah, he gets fucking impaled with a bunch of like wood and then gets fucking blown up by a crashing helicopter. Like, everybody dies.
Who another character on the Suicide Squad tries to like crash, and then she gets destroyed because it lands on her, and then it scoots across the beach because the propeller's still going, and just...
And then...
The one of this first scene, the one death that kind of bothered me was Flula Berg. It's not Berg. Flula... The German dude.
Oh, the Javelin guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know his actual name.
I think it's Borg something. Yeah. I don't know. Flula. If you guys don't know who Flula is, like, look him up. He's hilarious. He's German, and he's so funny. He's been in a handful of things as like a supporting character. But yeah, it's just hilarious.
Well, fucking back up a little bit here, because when they're jumping out, this is like quite possibly the funniest part of the movie, is when the characters are jumping out of the helicopter into the water to breach the beach. You get the character played by, I believe, Sean Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn's younger brother.
Weasel, and he fucking jumps out of the plane everybody else is like marine style, like into the water, like straight bodies, and then you see Weasel coming out of the air, and he's like, "Wow!" Bam! It just hits the water. He can't swim, just gargling water, and they try to save him. He does not
he
survive.
he drowns. Um, and there's even a line from I don't know the actor that plays Rick Flag. Um,
Joel Kinnaman.
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 Yeah.
He plays Rick Flag, and he's like, "Did no one check to see if the weasel could swim?"
Fucking swim.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
use the F word a lot
A
in this
lot.
movie.
There's one scene between Idris Elba and his daughter where they just go,
you.
"Fuck you, fuck you,
Fuck you.
fuck you, fuck you." Like it's like 36 f bombs in
Yeah.
a minute and a half scene.
Yeah.
But they set the tone for the movie and they did it right. It was both hilarious and gruesome, and
Yeah.
it did not let up from there.
So basically they set up in the very beginning of the movie. They set up a Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad gets fucking murked on the beach, and
Yeah.
then there's
It was literally the Suicide Squad
yeah,
because
and
the
then-
intention was that they created a diversion for the real infantry team.
And then basically Amanda Waller is like, is it Amanda Waller? It's
Amanda Waller.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
like,
man.
how's team 2 doing? And then that's when we get introduced to the Suicide Squad of this movie,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome. We get Bloodsport played by Idris Elba. We get King Shark, which is awesome.
And who plays King Shark? Or
Sylvester
voices?
Stallone.
Because it's a CG character.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Stallone.
Ratcatcher 2.
Yes. But also, like, probably one of like the most interesting.
Nicole.
Oh, I'm gonna make a shirt for that one.
Sorry, Nicole.
No, just sorry, babe.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No, but we get Ratcatcher 2, who is basically a brand new character. Where it's basically the daughter of Ratcatcher, which is, a villain from the DC comics, but this is kind of like a new iteration, supposed to be the daughter of that. So, but easily one of the most dynamic characters of the film as well.
We got a Polka Dot Man. Can't forget about Polka Dot Man.
A character that, looking at it, you're like, even just in the previews, like, you're just like, he's just an emo kid with powers that somehow made it this far in life. But goddamn, throughout this movie,
He became
love
one of
this
my favorite characters.
Yeah, easily. Great comic relief, but also like deep enough to where you could actually like connect with him and like care about him. Up until
He's
the
also
name.
in the Ant-Man movies.
Yeah, I always forget his name. He also plays a decoy in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight films.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's the psycho guy.
Yeah.
That yep. That Joker uses to
Yeah. And
And then
he's in a ton of stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, his character ended up being one of my favorite characters.
And we'll get into that, but and then it kind of like, we get some flashbacks from there as to how they got to that point. So we get a little bit of like backstories and stuff
yeah,
like that.
they jump around a bunch in the movie.
It's very Kill Bill timeline.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, because they did it well.
I think so. I have two favorite characters in this movie. One is King Shark, played by Sylvester Stallone, because he is, and we can debate about this a little bit. He's an idiot, but he's adorable.
He's hilarious. He's adorable, and he just wants to be accepted.
Yeah.
And in the film, it worked great. I just hated it because King Shark in the comics is not an idiot.
Yeah, he's very smart.
He's very intelligent. But outside of that, in this movie, the way that they used him, because they didn't use him just as like dumb comic relief. They just let him be funny because he was still a badass throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the fact that they made him an idiot.
Yeah, yeah. The other being Sebastian. Who's Sebastian?
Sebastian was Ratcatchers 2, her like most prized rat.
He wears a little red vest.
He's like Rat
he
Aladdin.
Like waves at people.
Yeah, is that rat waving at me? It appears he is. And you see a little rat just...
He's the best. And he warns Bloodsport or whatever that King Shark was about to eat Ratcatcher. And like he's a very smart, cute little rat with a little red vest. It's very adorable.
It's adorable, and so many jokes are made because of that as well.
Yeah.
Which is great. Also, this film gives us hands down the best Harley Quinn that we've seen.
Agreed. I have not, since Harley Quinn has been introduced as Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie has been introduced as Harley Quinn, I have not given a fucking shit about her character until this movie.
And it had nothing to do with her as an actress, because
I love Margot Robbie,
and I think that she's killed it as Harley Quinn. Just it was not written well for the first couple of films that she's been in.
It's definitely not her fault by any means. I'm sorry if that came out. Yeah,
she does this role so well, but finally there was a well-written part for her.
Yeah, because Suicide Squad 1, fucking Birds of Prey, give me a fucking break. I could not.
I didn't hate Birds of Prey. It's not my favorite.
You had a population of 1 with that.
That's fine. But Harley Quinn in both those movies, her main concern was Joker. It was the underlying premise for that character. And it's like in the comics, in the cartoons, like there are plenty of times where Harley Quinn is not dependent on the Joker, and she's a badass on top of that.
And maybe that's why I liked her so much in this movie, is because, spoiler alert, in Birds of Prey, technically, Harley kills Jared Leto's Joker, or at least they insinuate that she did. So in this movie, there's like a scene where she hooks up with this guy, and he basically, after they bang, he's like, if people don't fall in line with me, I will kill them, women, children, whatever. And he turns around, and Harley just fucking BAM! Shoots him right in the chest. And she's like, I'm sorry, dude. I like you. You got a big dick, blah, blah, blah. But killing kids is kind of a red flag for me. And the last boyfriend I had, and I'm paraphrasing here, the last boyfriend I had was a real piece of shit like that, and I'm not going to do that again. And so she kills him, and he's like just bleeding out onto the floor, and, like trying to crawl away. Yeah. And she's like, you actually look better this way, with all those nasty thoughts just spilled out onto the floor.
You're like, damn.
Yeah, and this was definitely her best performance as Harley Quinn. And like Chad said, I don't think it's her fault that she sucked as Harley Quinn before.
I don't think she sucked as Harley Quinn. She nailed all the performances. It's just that the other performances were not written well.
Exactly. I'm saying that James Gunn wrote her character very, very well. This is the first time in her career as Harley Quinn that I actually was like, yeah, I like this.
And she's one of the 2 characters from the Plan A drop that survived. Basically, everyone from Plan B survived.
Dude, go into Rick Flag. We gotta talk about Rick Flag. where he ends up and what happens.
so, so it shows two different scenes of both Rick Flag and Harley getting captured. Rick Flag gets captured, and Amanda Waller's like, "You must rescue him. He's team lead. Use excessive force without question." So, first off, we didn't even mention Peacemaker, which is John Cena.
Oh yeah.
Which,
Fuck.
as you guys have heard in previous episodes, I love John Cena. I think that he's hilarious as an actor. But so him and Idris Elba have kind of like a feud as to who's like the bigger badass, who's more devastating, who's can do their job better.
They basically have the same job title. They're
mercenaries.
Yeah, and even Amanda Waller, when she introduces a little bit of foreshadowing, she introduces Idris Elba, and she's like, anything in his hands is a weapon. And then when she introduces John Cena, she says the exact same thing. Anything in his hands is a weapon.
And he's like, yeah, but you have me, so why do we need him? He's like, I'm a better shot. And he's like, I hit the bullseye every time. And he's like,
I hit it closer.
He's like, how do you hit a bullseye closer? And he's like, smaller bullets.
Yeah.
Which is just
he goes,
hilarious.
I'll hit the same target you hit, but it won't even touch the bullet hole that you touched. Whatever. It's so stupid. But yeah.
But so Idris Elba's Bloodsport and Peacemaker raid this camp that they think Rick Flag is being held captive at, and they just murk everybody.
Brutally.
Some of the
murder
coolest
everyone.
Death scenes in this movie.
I mean, they burn people alive. King Sharks.
King
He
Shark.
just sharts everybody. King Shark eats people. I mean, they literally.
This is the first time we get to see Polka Dot Man's actual ability.
Yeah.
Where his polka dots are basically they melt everything they touch.
Yeah.
And then they find Rick Flag, and he's like having a drink and laughing and playing cards with like the leaders that captured him. And they're like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, these are the good guys. They're part of the Liberation Army.
They rescued me." And then she goes, "Sorry, I didn't mean to take that."
No, keep going.
No, you go.
Oh wow, way to kill the flow.
I interrupted you. I didn't mean to. I got really excited, and it just happened. You go.
And she's like, "How did you guys get in here? My men would have told me if you guys were here." What happened? They're like, John Cena and Idris Elba are both like, "Men? We didn't see anybody. We don't know what you're talking about."
We didn't see anybody. What are you talking?
And King Shark comes in and like spits out like a body part.
Yeah, and then Polka Dot Man goes, "I pictured them all as my mom, and we killed them all."
Polka Dot Man has some serious mommy issues, which we will get into a little bit later also. Basically, she experimented on him to give him powers.
But they wanted to make him a superhero.
And they reference Star Labs also, which, for those of you that are familiar with The Flash, know the importance of Star Labs. But, oh my god, it's just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
John Cena throughout the thing is just... He's insane. We get a scene of John Cena in his whitey tighties. Tighty whiteys. Why do I keep saying whitey tighties?
And then he says, because he goes, what Idris is like, he says like, "You're standing there in your whitey tighties," and Cena's like, "That's racist."
Which is hilarious. But they played out for jokes that Peacemaker has just a massive cock. Yeah. Clearly a prosthetic. If that's real, like, hats off to all of John Cena's lady friends. But like,
actually, I feel bad for all of John Cena's lady friends.
Well, if it's John Cena, I'm sure that he can pay for that gynecologist visit afterwards.
Yeah. Reconstructive
sorry.
surgery.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. Just a monster diok.
Diok.
Just want to give you this diok.
Fuck, we gotta move on. there's a ton of shit that happens in this movie. One of the one of the things that I really liked about this was that Taika Waititi, who is the director for Thor Ragnarok and also Thor: Love and Thunder, the upcoming Thor movie,
He also plays
has a
Korg in the
Korg. Yeah,
MCU.
he has a cameo, very small cameo, as his daughter's Ratcatcher 2's father, the original Ratcatcher.
Yeah,
Um, and it's a very touching moment later. We'll get to that, but
yeah.
very touching moment. It was really cool. I mean, I was watching it and I was like, that's Taika. It was cool. um,
But basically, they go through this entire thing basically to destroy evidence that the government
Project Starfish.
which is basically a giant alien called Starro that possesses mind control ability.
By turning people into zombies, basically by
sending smaller starfish,
smaller versions of itself that attach themselves to the face like this.
Well, it's so that they can reach the brain, but yeah.
Yeah. But there's an eye right here, and then they can see everything and control that body. Yeah.
But one of the funniest things about Starro is like after Starro gets like set free, because they blow up the building that Starro is like held captive in, and he's like terrorizing this small Caribbean island, basically. We get to see Polka Dot Man look at Starro and see his mother.
Yeah, because
further playing on his mommy issues.
Idris Elba's character is like, who is that? He's like, that's your fucking mom. And then Polka Dot Man looks and sees Starro as like a giant version of his mom, just like punching her way through a building.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like arm flaps, like she was a large woman.
Yeah.
And then now it's like 15 stories tall.
Yeah.
It just
actually
absolutely hilarious.
There's a very funny part before that when they're at the club and they're all getting drunk together. And when he's on the dance floor and he's like dancing with some cute girls, but then they show like what he sees and he's just dancing with a bunch of different versions of his mom, basically. Yeah.
Because Idris Elba asks him, he's like, what gets you upset? Like what makes you want to kill? And he's like, when I picture my mom. And then he's like, well, how do you picture your mom? He's like, I see her everywhere.
Yeah.
And then it like shows him like
no, it's the
dancing.
opposite. He says, I don't like to kill unless I picture them as my mom.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And then it's easy. But yeah, it was very funny. He's a very awesome comic relief to the movie, as well as King Shark, who's also very comic relief.
Yeah.
There's like a part where he's in the back of a van and they all are inside drinking and like hanging out, and King Shark has to like sit in the van by himself and he's like crying because he can't go
like
inside.
under a blanket because he has to hide. Yeah. He's like,
they're like, yeah, he's like, I can go in, and they're like, how would you go in disguise? He goes, I'd wear a mustache, and they go, oh, a mustache, and then they show him going like this.
It's like, you look the same, but with a stupid mustache.
For those of you who can't see what we're doing, he basically just holds his finger up under his nose. He's like, it's a disguise. Yeah, it was very funny and sad, But
then at the end, we do get the demise of Starro, which was super inconsistent. And why is that, Jake? Because of Bloodsport?
Oh, God. Yeah, so...
Because we do have to shit on the movie a little bit. Cause
we have to shit on the movie a little bit, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But there's a part where fucking Bloodsport is shooting Starro in its eye with this like crazy like powerful gun, bam, and the bullets are just bouncing off, and then Harley Quinn with a fucking spear, like jumps and stabs it in the eye and like goes inside of it, and it's like, really?
But the bullets didn't do that.
Yeah, there's definitely some dumb shit. There's also a part in the movie that we shit on a little bit, like when we were writing all this down, where Harley basically kills like 100 guys with like a couple guns,
A couple of guns and a javelin.
like an army, like trained military people, and she like murders them all. Which it was a cool scene and all, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had like a really weird scene where instead of blood, everything was flowers.
Yeah, like she'd shoot somebody and flowers like came out of their chest instead of blood. Yeah.
But like that was the only time it happened. It was just that one scene. So it was like,
Yeah. It was weird.
But overall, guys, like this movie is incredible.
Yeah. Go watch it. It's a lot of fun. Fuck, I feel
But
like there was something
we also
else.
get the end credit scene teases at the
Oh, yeah.
upcoming Peacemaker HBO Max show.
John Cena. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I know that you have your opinions about John Cena, but
I don't dislike him. I just think he is better at doing comedies than he is at. I just can't take him seriously. I've seen him butt chug a beer in a movie,
That's
and like
fair.
I just taken him seriously as like a action star. I'm just like,
That's why this movie was so great because it blended both so well.
oh shit, yeah. Fucking he kills Rick Flag. By the way, guys.
Spoiler.
Yeah, we already gave the spoiler. At this point, if we ruined anything, it's your own fault.
That's true.
Yeah, he kills Rick Flag because basically what happens is that they realize that America took Starro from space, brought it to Earth, and because they didn't want to experiment on Starro on American soil, they brought it to this South American country and then experimented on it there.
Yeah, to Corto Maltese. It's a small island.
Rick Flag gets pissed about this because he's like, this is why we're here, like to cover up some American bullshit. And he's like, I'm going to take this hard drive and I'm going to show the world what these fucks did. And Cena is like, I can't let you do that. And they fight. Rick Flag wins the fight, in my opinion, but ends up getting stabbed in the chest and dies. And then Ratcatcher 2 sees it, takes the drive, runs. You go.
And then she's about to be killed by Peacemaker or John Cena. And through a series of events, Idris Elba... Idris Elba is like sees him pointing the gun at her, and they both draw their guns on each other, Idris Elba and John Cena, and they shoot. John Cena basically uses like a Desert Eagle, like a 50 cal handgun, shoots the bullet, and Idris Elba has like his fancy tech gun, and it shows, and like Idris's bullet goes right through, splinters the 50 cal, and gets John Cena in the throat. And his parting words as he thinks John Cena's bleeding, I was like, huh, smaller bullets.
Yeah.
A little cheesy.
Cena's like, how? And he goes, smaller bullets. Because earlier in the movie, when they're talking to each other and like trying to show their dick sizes, basically Cena is like, I use smaller bullet. He's like, John Cena says that he uses smaller bullets to hit smaller targets. So then at the end of the movie, when Idris kills Cena, he's like, how'd you do that? Or basically, how'd you do that? Idris is like, smaller bullets.
Yeah. Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
But overall, guys, like this movie is hilarious. It's fun. It's gory. It's action-packed.
The action is awesome.
It's what Suicide Squad should have been from the start. and they did it so well.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
You do the after credit scene, and then we'll do sponsorship.
Well, yeah, basically the after credit scene shows John Cena is still alive. He's just in the ICU. And like some of the people that work for Amanda Waller are like, you know that they're just sticking us on this because we hit her with a golf club, which happens earlier in the movie. We don't need to get into it. It's a throwaway scene. It's hilarious. But when it happens, you're like, oh, shit. And they're like, well, why do you need him? And they're like, to save the world. And then, boom.
Save the fucking world, of course. Sorry,
oh, hiccup.
Save the fucking world, of course. Oh, God. You got to do sponsor too. I'm hiccuping. Go
No,
on.
it's totally fine. So with that, guys, we are going to touch base on sponsor number 2, which is Crybaby Craig's. It is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that just goes good on everything. Go ahead and listen up. Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, guys, we are going to continue our dive into the Spider-Man movies with the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film. This movie is fucking awesome.
It's
quite arguably
so
the
good.
best one. Yeah. Animated. It's an animated movie. It's focused on Miles Morales, who's an African-American version of Spider-Man. This movie kicks ass.
He's half African-American, half Hispanic.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
No, I was just elaborating, but this movie, first off, regardless of if the story was good or not, the story's phenomenal. But if the story sucks, the animation of this is phenomenal. Yeah. They blend old, like 1930s, 1940s noir comic style, like black and white,
anime
into it. They anime. Also, like the main animation of the film is 2 different animations that are layered. So half of it is shot at, I think it's like 20 frames a second, which is a little bit less than what the human eye confuses as solid motion. So you do get some of that like blocky, almost like comic style, and then the rest of the animation is at 60 frames a second. So and it's double layered. It's incredible. Like it won so many awards because of the animation alone.
Yeah.
And it's just, you don't normally think of like an animated film and be like, oh my God, like the filmography is beautiful. Mm-hmm. But it is so well done. Like it's incredible. Yeah. I love this movie.
Crazy. Yeah. This movie kicks ass.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. We're going to ruin some stuff if you haven't seen it, but go watch it regardless. If you have seen it like a few times and you're like, hey, I haven't seen that in a while, go watch it. Just go watch this. That's it. Sorry for cutting you off so many times. I'm just passionate about this movie.
You didn't. I did. I just got my mouth shut. You're good. This movie is so fucking awesome. We get multiple Stan Lee cameos. They're animated, but still.
And it's still his voice, too. Yeah. Or his likeness.
Yeah. We also get the multiple versions of Spider-Man. The first one we're introduced to is Chris Pine voicing Spider-Man, a blonde version of Spider-Man in Miles Morales' reality. But the version of Spider-Man he gets killed. Chris Pine's version of Spider-Man.
Wow, way to ruin the movie. God.
Well, I'm just kidding. Whatever. Spoiler alert was like an hour ago. But then we get introduced to fucking Jake Johnson's version of Spider-Man. Those of you who don't know who Jake Johnson is, he played Nick Miller in New Girl. He has been in a ton of movies. He's
He's
super
been
fucking hilarious.
in Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. Yeah.
One.
Yeah. He's fucking hilarious. He's an awesome actor. I actually really like him a lot. He plays the version of Spider-Man that is worn out. He's
Like in his
no,
30s.
no longer with MJ. He's like washed up and
No longer like in shape. Like
yeah, he's like
a
kind of
little
out
plump.
of shape and yeah, it's great. Uh, but yeah, so that's who we get with Miles, and he's kind of Miles's coach into being
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
And just there's so many Easter eggs, and there's so much like comic relief. Like this is just it's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
But we also get a female version of Doc Ock,
Catherine Hahn.
who is Agnes all along.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Oh, but we also get like, fuck. There's so many Spider-Man.
What was
in this.
Haley Steinfeld plays Spider-Gwen,
Yeah,
which is Gwen Stacy. For those of you who don't know, Gwen Stacy was Spider-Man's first love before MJ, and he told her who he was, and she gets killed by Green Goblin, which you see in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
which we
but
talked
that
about
is-
last week. Go listen if you haven't.
Yeah, which is why Spider-Man then in the future decides to not tell his significant other, Mary Jane, who eventually finds out anyway, but whatever, that he's Spider-Man. He refuses to tell her but yeah, because yeah, anyway, so in this reality of Miles Morales
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy is, or not in this reality, sorry, Spider-Verse, from
Yeah.
a different version of Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy is Spider-Man, but she is not a man. She's Spider-Woman or
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Girl. Yeah,
Spider Gwen.
Spider-Gwen. Yeah.
But we also get Nicolas Cage as
Nicolas Cage.
Spider-Man Noir, which is like the
Um,
1930s version.
Oh, what's his name? John Mulaney as
Yeah, we get
Spider-Ham, which is a pig version of Spider-Man.
And John Mulaney is just hilarious. And then on top of that, we get references. We hear the voice both of Stan Lee as like an old Spider-Man, as well as Oscar Isaac, who is the Spider-Man 2099.
That's the end credit scene.
We also get Penny Parker as Spider-Man, where she has like she's like from the anime realm, where it's like a robot.
We get Liev Schreiber as
Kingpin.
Kingpin, the voice of Kingpin. Yeah.
Like we mentioned, we have
Lily
Catherine
Tomlin
Hahn,
as
Lily
Aunt
Tomlin. We also there's so many people in this.
May. There's even a small callback to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the intro to
They make fun of his dancing
he's
scene,
doing
like
the dance, and Spider-Man's basically like,
yeah, we
don't
don't
need to
talk about that.
That's pretty funny.
Is there any? Maher. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher his name again. Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but he plays Uncle Aaron or Aaron Davis, who is also the Prowler.
Yeah. Which is Miles's
Uncle. Yeah.
Who was played by Donald Glover in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's such a fun movie. It's funny, it's touching. It's just what
I'm pretty sure your kids have touched me, and I'm pretty sure that I've touched them too.
what?
School of Rock
Oh, yes,
with
okay.
Jack Black.
I
He's like,
was
he's no, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. He's like, I've touched your kids, and I'm pretty sure they've touched me too. All the parents are like, what?
sorry, Mom.
Anyways, uh,
But just
go watch it. This is what we're doing. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you've seen it, go watch it again because you know what we're talking about. This movie kicks ass. Probably the best Spider-Man movie to date.
and I can't wait for the second one.
Second one's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like there's just I guess if we would have taken a little bit more time, we probably could have found something to shit on this movie about. But like,
Oh, there's definitely stuff to shit on. I'm just not gonna do it.
this movie is just great, guys. Like
I
this,
love this.
this is a rare occasion where we're like, yeah, there's stuff to talk negatively about, but we're not gonna because we love it so much. Like we wouldn't do that with just about any other movie.
Yeah.
With that being said, this movie is just absolutely
Just go watch it.
killer. And it's fun and it's That's it. It's just good.
That
Yeah.
being said, we
Yeah.
love you guys very, very much.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out this episode.
But before we do, we just want to thank you guys for. But before we do, we just want to thank you guys for tuning in, supporting us. We love you guys. Again, this is something we did for fun, and you guys have made it way more fun. So
Absolutely. And just as to throw it out there, Shang-Chi, sorry, just released another teaser trailer for the upcoming film. Still nothing from Spider-Man. I don't even know if this movie exists anymore.
I told you, I sent you that thing. I don't think they're going to do a preview for Spider-Man.
So Shang-Chi just released a teaser trailer, as well as on Wednesday. What comes out, Jake?
The What If series begins on Disney Plus on Wednesday. So excited for this.
Oh, it's going to be great. So we'll be talking about that, next week, as well as continuing this dive into Spider-Man movies. Don't forget, we did release our new web store just a couple of weeks ago. The link is down below if you look at the show notes. Otherwise, you can find links to it from basically anywhere that you find us. As well as our Patreon page. It helps. Every little bit helps. Right now, we still don't make any money from this. We use every cent that we get to go into giveaways. So the more we get, the bigger the giveaways get. So, check it out. And like Jake said earlier, we love you guys. Thank you. And this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.